In Part 1, we looked at all the various filtering options available in the Monitoring Flows report. In Part 2, we went through the default column headings in the results table and what they mean. Now we'll examine the results of a search and dig into the information, or you can skip to Part 4, where we'll look at the flow details pop-up. You've picked your filters and clicked on the refresh button to get some results. What do we do with the information? What can we learn? Well, this all depends on your filters and how busy your appliance is. A branch ECUS or XS might only have a few hundred or a few thousand flows, but a data center ECL or XL might be reporting hundreds of thousands of flows or more. At the top of the table are some statistics. Active is the total number of flows active on the appliances selected in the tree. If no appliances are selected, then this is the total flows of all online and reachable appliances. Pass-through reports any flow that isn't using an overlay, breakout, or third-party tunnel. You may need to tick Include Built-in to see these, as they are often appliance-generated flows, typically things like the Zscaler tunnels themselves. Asymmetric is the number of flows that only have bytes in one direction. Dropped represents those flows dropped either by a security policy or peer unavailable action of drop was reached, as defined by the BIO configuration. These flows will be seen in red in the table as well. Then we have displayed versus matched. Your filter could match 1 million flows, but the UI is limited to displaying a maximum of 10,000 flows. There is a little information button there, which reminds you that this is 10,000 across all appliances being reported on in total. So in our example, that would be 10,000 divided by the 3 appliances. If displayed equals matched, you're seeing all the data possible for your search. But if displayed is less than matched, you may need to refine your filters. Note that if you have no filters selected, you may see a positive value for active or pass-through, but 0 for displayed or matched. This means there are no currently active flows across the appliance, but try ticking Include Built-in. If you have Zscaler deployed, there will always be flows for those IPsec tunnels that are hidden by the built-in filter. It's more likely you'll see this situation in a test or lab environment rather than production. Next, we have display, which determines whether to show the flow with just the IPs in IP1 and IP2, just the DNS name, or both. Note that if there is no DNS name and you select DNS, you'll end up with a blank cell. Lastly in this row, we have Reset Flows and Reclassify Flows. They each have a drop-down menu to choose from acting on a single or multi-selection of flows, using Control and left-click to select, acting on all return flows or on all flows. There are some big operational differences between all returned and all. All returned is the complete list of flows returned by your search criteria, including all those flows matched, whether you can see them in the table or not. All is literally all flows active on the appliance or appliances selected on the tree, regardless of your filters. This includes the appliance to Orchestrator control channel, so if you do reset all flows, expect your appliance to temporarily go grey on the Orchestrator tree. It will self-recover after a few minutes, but can be a bit unsettling if you're not expecting it. Flow reclassification is different, in that it will instruct the Edge Connect to reconsider the overlay and policies for a flow already active. For example, you might have recently created a new overlay to prioritize certain traffic. Rather than reset the flow, you can opt to reclassify and have the appliance dynamically move the flow into the new overlay, assuming policy would do that naturally by the order it is in. Note that reclassification is not currently effective for internet flows, since a potential change of public IP after NAT could break sessions relying on affinity to that public IP. A final word of caution with regards to the search box, which I've not mentioned yet. It's over there on the top right of the table. You'll see it throughout the product in all sorts of places to aid filtering tables and policies. But beware, it doesn't self-clear. Also, the Clear button won't empty this box. It will only clear all configured filters back to default. You can leave the report, even close the tab, and come back to it later, and your last entry in the search box will still be there. I've fallen for this many times, and scratched my head wondering why I'm not seeing any or limited results. So either avoid using this box, or remember to clear it when you're done. It's especially important in the flows report if you're going to reset flows. Let's say you use the search box to quickly filter down some results, and then reset all returned. What will happen is, the orchestrator will instruct a reset of all the flows matched by the filters at the top. The search box is not taken into account. Note on the top left you'll see two values, like 2/34, or whatever it may be. You're seeing two flows visually because the search box has hidden the rest, but the table has 34 total flows that will be acted upon. Bear that in mind when using the search box. Although for the reset menu, you will get a confirmation of the number of flows that will be reset before you commit. Okay, let's get into the results table now. By default, the report will be sorted by inbound bytes. So you'll see the top user of bandwidth for the last 5 minutes. So out of the box, you're seeing your SD-WAN's utilization at this moment, itemized by flow, and in the order of most usage to least. You could sort on outbound bytes, uptime, or any of the columns you like. If you want to find out who are your top talkers, the monitoring top talkers report for the last N hours is probably your best bet, but you can still infer similar information here also, and also for the last 5 minutes. You could then take the IP from the top row and put that into the IP subnet filter to see what else it is talking to. It's entirely possible to infer the presence of rogue behavior by how many flows are being opened and to which destinations. For example, hundreds or thousands of flows open to seemingly random internet destinations with very few bytes might be worthy of further investigation. If you see flows in red, this indicates that they were dropped by policy. You can then click on the detail for that flow to see why. It may indicate a problem with tunnel availability, or possible configuration issue somewhere. That's a neat segue into part 4, where we'll cover the detail pop-up in more, detail.